Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time again for your Monday mailbag. This week, we are talking about Dr. Octopus and that X-Force unlock. More Emma Frost, and Drew is back, baby. Yeah, does he have any new rumors for us? Well, we are about to find out, guys. And if you're ready for all of that plus more, find that like button and you know what to do. Yeah, let's get smash it.
Valley Flyin.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time once again for the Monday mailbag. Welcome to the Valley Flyin channel. I hope you have had a great weekend and I hope you're doing well. And I hope you're ready for all of your questions, guys, from the Discord. And if you want your question potentially featured in an upcoming episode, make sure you are a member of the Discord with that link down below. Also, there is still time if you want to win Emma Frost, sponsored by Worldwide Nutrition, guys. There is an email list that you need to subscribe to, and the winner will be picked from there. So if you're on that list, you're automatically entered. And if you entered a list in the past, this is a new list. So make sure you use that link down below. There is still some time. I think they're doing it noon tomorrow, noon Eastern tomorrow is when they're drawing that. So yes, enter if you're not already entered, and hopefully you could win Emma Frost because she's looking very good. But without further ado, guys, let's get to your questions from the Discord server. Boom, first question, Valley Flyin. I do not have Ultimus at 7 stars. Do I still open Ultimus orbs? This is an interesting question because Ultimus not that good of a character right now, but I still do like opening characters or unlocking characters and getting them to at least 5 stars so I could use them potentially in the future, maybe build them up. So I would say if it were me doing my roster over, I would at least unlock this character at 5 stars. After that, then I would probably invest just in orange gear, making sure I'm ready for Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4, for all of that stuff. Yes, 5 star, because I don't see a lot of value with Ultimus right now. Maybe on that Kree team, that mixed Kree team, but outside of that, not too much. So I wouldn't put a priority on opening your Ultimus orbs right now, brother. Next question, debating between having OG Spider-Man and CM as the 5th for Young Avengers. First question, who is the better pick? I mean, the better pick is the no-brainer. Captain Marvel is the better pick on that team because she's the better pick on most teams. Second question, since both characters are very, very good, what backup teams are there for them? So I have used both of these characters on my Avengers team, kind of a 8.0 and lower team, not an 8.3 team. But I've had normal Spider-Man in that 5th spot on that Avengers team, Captain Marvel on that spot as well, and that's where I'm running both of them now. Captain Marvel's better on whatever team she's on, so she makes the Young Avengers better, she makes the normal Avengers better. She's just a better all-around character, but yes, I'm running the replacement on my Avengers team, brother. Next question, how's it, brother? Coming from Kahalu. Not a question, just about the game, just happy where I'm at, my current progress. Question for you is a simple one. What is your go-to mini meal from Hawaii? Spam musubi, manapua, poke bowl, the real kind, not the fake mainland stuff or something else. Well, I mean, you mentioned my favorite thing right there is poke bowl. I mean, in Hawaii, you get that stuff in the grocery stores. There's not even a real good go-to place I know here in Dallas. Even when I was living in LA, didn't really have a go-to place. So it has to be poke. The best poke I've ever had was from Hawaii. Manapua is very, very good. Can't really get a good manapua around here, or at least not one that I know of. There's some other dishes, but poke has to be my go-to. Spam musubi, you can make that wherever. There's spam and rice everywhere you go. So it has to be poke. I like manapua, but poke by far, brother. Good day, mate, from Perth, Australia. We know your favorite character is the Hulk. Yeah, baby. One of the most iconic moves is his thunderclap, and we know we need World Breaker Hulk, given the empowered system running around Thanos, getting his new abilities with the Black Order. How would you feel about Hulk getting a new passive whenever, altogether, whenever he rage charges every time he gets hit, to a total of 3 or 5, depending what they go with. When he reaches a full rage stack, he charges the World Breaker Hulk, getting new abilities, which is his, one of which is his iconic thunderclap move. Yeah, so I like that. You know, rage or charges do different things for each character. There's a bunch of characters that have that charge mechanic. Each one does a little different, and I would like to see Hulk get that charge. Before he got his rework, I was like, Hulk, he needs a rework, he needs charge, he needs more offense based on that. But having him go to a whole new character, I do like that. But any rework to make Hulk stronger, I'm super, super biased, brother. So if this is gonna make Hulk stronger, I'm super biased. Yes, do it. I'm in favor. But I think I would like it anyway. I think that empowered move is pretty good, or that empowered state is pretty good. Kind of like that charge. They could use it different for each character. So I like the possibilities that this can open up, brother. Next question from Canada. My friend, what is up? Yesterday, I pulled a 7 red star Toad. It is my first 7 red star. I want to know if he's worth building up. Mag event is coming, and I'll have him a 5 stars. He's a good character, and you know, unless you have that 7th gold star, unless you have the 7th gold star, the 7th red star is not going to matter. Toad, I like Toad on that team. I think he's very important, especially that red star giving him more focus to remove more positive effects from the enemies on that opening move. I don't think he's the most important, so I wouldn't build him up super strong. I wouldn't want to have like 100k Toad and the rest of my brotherhood around 50k. So I would say build him up maybe a little stronger than the rest of your brotherhood, but I wouldn't go too much above that, even at a 7 red star level. There's some characters that you could build them up to whatever you want, and it doesn't matter where the rest of their team is. With Toad, I would say you still want a very strong Magneto, still very strong Pyro, Blob, Juggernaut. All the other characters are very important to get super strong. So I wouldn't want to build him so far above these other characters, brother. But yeah, build him up. He's a good character. He'll help you in war on offense and help you in blitz as well. How are you doing? I hope you're having great weather like we are in the UK. There's another question about the great weather in the UK. So congratulations to all you UK guys having some great weather there recently. But do you think Scopely will one day build a team around Ultron comprising of Iron Man's enemies, tech villains, which may be required to unlock a new legendary? So one day will Ultron get a team? I think it's very possible. I would like to see it around Iron Man's enemies just because it has some synergy. So maybe characters like the Ironmonger, Whiplash, who else was in these movies? What is his name? The Mandarin. The Mandarin would be a good one too. But yeah, all of those characters from Iron Man I think would be good with new teams. I don't know if I want him to unlock a new legendary, but more characters, more teams. As long as we get the user interface to justify that, like more save squads and things like that, I would like it. I like it. I think more teams gets more variety to the game, especially if they add more content to go with those teams. With Emma Frost coming to the game, do you think the next team is going to be the Hellfire Club? So this was an older question asked before Emma Frost was released. I'm actually surprised she was released on Sunday and not later this week. But next team coming, Hellfire Club. I don't think it's the next team based on some of the things I've heard. I think it is possible down the road to have that full Hellfire team, the Hellfire Club, in the game at some point, because very purposefully, they did not give Emma Frost a Marauders tag. Instead of giving her that tag, which made it very simple, they went and changed the passives and all the abilities of the rest of the Marauders to include villain mutants, and they did not give her that tag. So very simple. They very simply could have gave her the Marauders tag. They chose not to do that. So I'm thinking they did that for a very specific reason. Maybe that reason is just simply they didn't want to give her that tag, but it is very possible that it could be the introduction of a new Hellfire Club sometime down the road, but I don't think it's the next team coming or one of the next teams coming. Hey, Valley from the UK, although it hasn't been mentioned by anyone or any endgame players show it, what happens when you do a 7 red star dupe? So there's actually been a couple different things that happen to when you got a 7 red star dupe, and I'm not sure exactly what happens now. I think, and yeah, you guys may correct me in the comments, but I think what happens when you get a 7 red star dupe, you just get to open another 7 red star orb. I could be wrong. They've been through like 3 or 4 different iterations since they had the red stars. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but I think you get a full new red star character. It was in probably one of the blog posts or Reddit posts way back in the day, and I searched for it, I couldn't find it, but I think you get a full 7 red star character. Like I said though, guys, if you know in the comments for sure, let me know so everybody would know. But yeah, I think it's a 7 red star character, a new 7 red star orb to open. Hope all is well, brother. I have a question about assists and counters. What affects the damage on assist and counters? Are the counters and assist damage based on the basic ability? If I put a T4 into basic ability to increase the damage by %, does that damage apply to the counters and assists? Sort of. It's not consistent per character. To show you an example of this, let's go to msf.gg so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, and here we are on msf.gg, just so you can see kind of how random it is, guys. Let's take Emma Frost, for example. As you can see, her basic does 290% damage, flips 2 positive effects to a negative effect. If she's charged, she's going to do a little more damage, 340%, and clearing 2 positive effects instead. So her counter assist is kind of a mix between both of those. I'm not sure where the piercing damage is coming from, but she's getting piercing damage. She's removing 2 positive effects. She's not clearing it. She's not flipping it. I mean, removing it is kind of clearing it, but the wording is different. So that's kind of weird. But if you look, we take off the T4, drops it down from 290% damage to 230, and drops it down from 221% damage on the assist and counter to 179. So not a true 1-to-1 ratio for every character. And just to show you how random it is, let's take another character. Let's say Captain America, for example. He is also doing damage. He's doing some piercing damage, but his basic is different. 220% damage, no piercing on his basic right here. The T4 brings it down to 184. So again, some weird numbers, brings the piercing down, damage down a lot, and it brings the damage on his normal basic from 220 to 200. So not a 1-to-1 translation. You got to look up each different character, but that's kind of a complicated answer because it's not consistent for every character. Each character does something a little different on their assist and counter. Some characters are very similar, some are totally different. So look on msf.gg if you're not sure, brother. Good day from England, brother. Hope all is well. Do you know if the Ultimate Store is likely to get revised prices? Likely, I think it's a 50-50 chance for it to be likely revised. So very, very expensive. We got to remember that this Ultimate Store is an overflow store. It's not meant as our main source to farm characters. It's meant that if you've been playing this game for a while, have some duplicate shards, they're not just going to waste, kind of like they were doing in the Ultimate Store. So they do have ridiculous prices. I'm not sure if they need to be revived, but one suspicion that I saw from one of the comments, and I'm not sure which video, but someone was saying that maybe they had all these ridiculous prices in the beginning, so people would get rid of all their Ultimate currency, and then they could probably bring these down to a normal price. Not sure if that's what's gonna happen, but that is a tinfoil hat theory floating around there, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Next question, though, brother. So, thought, theory has occurred to me. DD3 uses Cosmic, Global, City, and so does Alpha Rays. Does that mean that DD4 is going to be based off team like the Beta or Gamma Rays? Man, I hope not, and I hope Fox Next is Scopely is not listening to this because I don't want any of that. I think that would be very, very bad. Get nodes with just Kree or just Defenders. I think it'd be very painful to do that in a Dark Dimension 4, especially if they have the health pool and the damage like they have in Dark Dimension 3. Next question, brother. Let's move on. I was watching your video with OMGEE. Saw you talking about T-Force for cull. I brought up the question I've had for a while. Does it affect the level of the basic? How much damage assist or counter? So we talked about it a little bit in the previous video, or in the previous question. Let's go back to msf.gg and we'll talk specifically about cull, brother. All right, guys, so what does cull Obsidian's basic do? When you put that T4 in, well, this normal basic goes from 250 damage to 300% damage, so a 50% increase. His assist / counter goes from 200% damage with 15% piercing to 245% damage with 17% piercing. So pretty good stat gain. If you're getting enough assists, I can see where it makes sense. If you're heavily investing in this Black Order team, I can see where that extra damage does make sense, especially with a lot of these assists. But that's what it does, brother. If that seems worth it to you, then do it. If it doesn't seem worth it to you, then don't do that. But that is exactly what the T4 for cull does. Valley Flyin. Can we get a correct and accurate answer on how the speed works on Emma's passive? Is it minus 10% speed bar? Yes, it is minus 10% speed bar. Schuberger was on the weekly news video last week and said that he tested this out. That is how it worked 2 weeks ago and said that is how it works. I have seen the passive in the game. That's how it's worded. And I've used her in a blitz match and that did affect the turn order. So what she does, minus 10% on the base stats of the enemies, and that affects the whole match. So if someone has a base stats of 100 for their speed, Emma Frost is on the field on the enemy team, they're going to have a 90 speed bar or a 90 speed as their base stats for the entire match. That is what her passive does, brother. Next question. Hello from Spain. Really enjoying your content. Long-time listener, first-time callers. You could say this is a two-parter. Independently of my team comps, which would be a future-proof get most utility for a 5-star upgrade? Hela, Thanos, Symbiote Spider-Man, Carnage, Cull, Black Bolt, or Invisible Woman? And would any of these 6-star take precedence over a 6 red star Phoenix? So, couple characters that I would consider. Hela, I would consider taking her up. Thanos, I would consider taking him up. Cull, same thing. Symbiote Spider-Man, maybe. Carnage, I would probably consider him after some of these other characters. And Black Bolt is a very strong consideration. Invisible Woman, no. So I think Cull and Thanos are very, very good choices for a promotion if you have a strong Black Order team and really working on that Black Order team. Both of those characters at high red stars makes that team a lot better. Symbiote Spider-Man, obviously, if you're going symbiotes. Black Bolt is just awesome, using him in multiple game modes, so he is probably my top choice if you're not going Black Order. Hela, and then the rest of the Black Order would probably be after that, if depending on what you're doing. But yeah, Black Bolt would be my top pick for that. And then Thanos / Cull if you're going Black Order. Next question, what is up? Let's go smash it. Do you think, with a lot of the new content coming out and ISO 8 coming, do you think legendary tunes like Fury and Iron Man will get reworks? Iron Man being a legendary is pretty worthless right now. Fury is falling off. Well, I wouldn't say Iron Man is worthless. He does do very good in that power armor team, but it is a very limited team, and he's not up to the standards of the other legendary characters. As far as reworks, though, I don't see it when ISO 8 comes out, but I do see it sometime. I mean, if Iron Man gets another movie or something like that, he's not one of the best characters in the game, so they could potentially give him a rework. Same thing with Fury, but I would say the chances are very, very low. I don't think it's zero, but I think it's very low that both of these characters. I think some of the resources that FoxNext, aka Scopely, could use towards building these or reworking characters, they could be used towards building new characters and making money from that. So that's what I think, but you know, they throw things out of left field a lot, so it's hard to predict what they're gonna do sometimes. Next question is, finally join your Discord. Awesome, brother. Do you think that they will do an increased drop rate for Black Order Red Star orbs again? Maybe the next time the Ebony Maw comes around. Yeah, they do these every so often. And it's kind of random, so it's hard to say when they're going to do it. But every now and then they throw these increased chances for Red Star, for characters dropping in Red Star orbs. So probably. I do think this is likely. I'm not sure when, though. Next question, can you explain what a cluster of alliances means? I think I get it, but would love an explanation. So basically there's some alliances like the larger alliances, the Pants of Hulks, the Cabals are two of the bigger alliances that do it, but they have a bunch of different alliances. So it's not just their main one, not just the main Pants of Hulk, but they have a bunch of other Pants of Hulk alliances, and they're all clustered together in one Discord server. There's advantages to doing that way as far as recruiting. There's some disadvantages as well. So some alliances do it, some don't. I was in a cluster for a long time. Right recently, I'm in an alliance that's not in a cluster, and I kind of like it. So it depends what you're looking for. Some people like those bigger alliances clusters. Some people like just dealing with those 24 people in your current alliance. So there's benefits and negatives to both, brother. It just depends on your personal preference on what you prefer. Next question, long-time watcher. There are conflicting reports on Beast and his effectiveness. Do you think Beast could actually be designed for some use with some of the new X-Men characters that are still coming to the game that can make them raid effective? So a couple different things with this one. There have been rumors of some other X-Men characters coming very soon. And if those characters that are rumored do come true, it could be a second X-Men team. I'm not sure if that's what's gonna happen. But yeah, with all of the X-Men that have been rumored, there is enough for a second X-Men team. So that potentially could be what the plan is for Beast. But yes, as far as his effectiveness, he does make that X-Men team better in all game modes. The big question is how much does he make that team better with low red stars, low gold stars? And how much does he make them effective that they can't already do without him? Those are the two questions. Now, there are some things that they can do without him, but I'm not sure how well they are able to do with the low gold and low red stars. But yeah, he does make them better. X-Men are already one of the best teams, so that's where the confusion for myself came with Beast. Next question, ValleyFlyin. What would you think of making Dr. Doom unclonable? Also, if he doesn't summon a Doombot at every turn, I think I'm going to be disappointed. I think you're going to be disappointed with the Doombot on every turn. I think that would be super strong. Maybe not. Maybe if it's a weaker version. But yeah, I think he should be a very strong character considering he is the Dark Dimension 4 unlock characters. Unclonable would be an interesting mechanic. Kind of a middle finger to Mr. Sinister, though. But I think someone needs to throw a middle finger to him sometime. So it could be Dr. Doom. Makes sense with this hard unlock of Dark Dimension 4, but I don't know about summoning a Doomon every single turn. Maybe that's it. Summoning extra characters for Ultron was very good and made him a very strong character. But yeah, we'll see what happens, brother. ValleyFlyin, hello from the Philippines. Just wanted to know if you heard any about the glitch that happens when you favorite a character and the mini uniques that you've been waiting for that character will not show up or secretly taken away. So you have to spend more coins or get frustrated by the mini unique offers. Smooth move, Scopely, smooth move. I'm not sure if that's something that they are doing. Now, it is possible, but I'm not someone that goes into the code and looks at it. I think there is some confirmation bias here. I've experienced similar things, but on both ends of the spectrum. I've experienced getting a lot of those mini uniques when I've had Symbiote Spider-Man favorited. Also experienced when I've had Venom favorited and get very little of those mini uniques. So I'm not sure. I think it's just confirmation bias, but if someone is going in the code and know exactly what's going on, if this is true or not, let me know. I would love to talk about this if this is something that is going on. But as of right now, I'm just going to say this is just confirmation bias. But let's see. What's up, brother? Where are the superior marrow extracts? I've been unharding them like OMGEE, still nothing. So I guess this unharding them and this kind of goes on the other side of that confirmation bias. I don't know. Did Scopely remove them from the game when they found out city nodes of DD3 were too easy for the symbiotes? Haven't seen one in at least 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, sometimes I get lucky, sometimes I don't get lucky. I just attribute it to luck. But like I said with the previous question, if there is something with a code, let me know. And you guys have proof of that. Let me know. I'd love to talk about this. Greetings from Alabama. Where would you say I should spend my current stash of power cores? Should I continue spending them on a Squirrel Girl campaign, though I'm not really interested in the character, or should I save them for Emma orbs when they are released? I feel Emma's safer, better out of the gate, but without knowing who the 5th member of the Young Avengers team and what they bring to the table, I kind of feel that Squirrel Girl may have more upside down the road. Now, I think that Emma is going to have more upside down the road. As far as what you should use your power cores in. Now, if you are interested in Squirrel Girl, it is much better to use your power cores to refresh the energy for an event rather than spending cores. The Emma offer on the orb is 675 cores. You could refresh the energy for that Squirrel Girl event for a long time. So keep that in mind. But I do think Emma is the better character. So if you're just looking at the pure character and not taking into account the value you're getting for the power cores, I think Emma is the better value. But we're comparing apples and oranges here, determining, talking about what you should spend your power cores on, because one is a very good value, one is a not good value, but the one with a not good value is on a better character than Squirrel Girl. So yeah, it's up to you what you want to do. It depends how much you don't like Squirrel Girl and how much you want to start to invest in Emma. But yeah, one is not a good value, one is a decent value. Next question, Valley, New York here. What is up, New York? The Ultimate 7 video got me really thinking about changing up my current Ultimate 7 team. I'm currently using the old U7 meta of Falcon, Ultron, Scientist Supreme, Shuri, and minn-erva. Got 6 red, 6 gold, Black Bolt when he comes out later this month. Do not have Yo-Yo. Viable Yo-Yo, 2 red, 2 yellow. Who would you recommend for me to throw on a team with Black Bolt? I have a symbiote Spider-Man, Hela, Carnage, Venom. Keep this in mind. This is the first difficulty of Ultimate 7. So for the first difficulty of Ultimate 7, brother, you should already have the team to do it. That team of Falcon, Ultron, Symbiote, Scientist Supreme, Shuri, and minn-erva should be able to get through those first few nodes, especially if you're going just for 30% of difficulty 1. Should be pretty good. And the team you have right here as a backup, Symbiote, Spider-Man, very good. Hela, very good. Carnage, very good. Venom, very good. You could run a full Symbiote team and put Hela and Black Bolt as the 4th and 5th, maybe even Shuri. minn-erva works there as well. You got a bunch of different combos. Here's the thing with Ultimate 7 though. Maybe not a difficult 1, but once you get to difficulty 3, difficulty 4, difficulty 5, there's not a one team that fits all for this whole raid. You're gonna have to use different teams for each node. And if you're not doing that 100%, you're gonna have a little extra energy where you could experiment with some teams. And if you don't do well, you just cancel out of the battle. So I would experiment with some of these characters. You got a very good team here now, Symbiotes. And you have some other 4th and 5th characters that you can rotate in. You're probably going to want to have to use a different team for each node, but maybe not on difficulty 1. Just kind of get the feel for it and see what works for you and your roster, where your gold and red stars are. But yeah, all of those would work good. The Symbiotes alone and 3 backups, they will work very well, brother. Greetings from a very, very warm UK. It is very warm in Texas too, brother. Hope you and your family are well. Hope all of you guys and your families are well as well. All of you guys. The warm weather has got me thinking, if you were stranded on a desert island with any 2 characters currently in the game, who would you want to be stranded with and why? I mean, obviously, is a super strong character that can fly that could get me off of the island. But I mean, if we're talking hypothetically here and there was no way to get off, I guess 2 female characters, so I wouldn't get bored. I don't know. But hypothetically, if we would never, ever get off, I don't know. Greetings, brother. Just wondered if you ever put that flute intro in. I haven't seen it. I haven't skipped a video of yours. Just wondering if I missed it so I can look it up. So here's the thing. That flute intro video was a punishment from OMGEE for losing to him for 2 PvP matches. So he actually owes me 2 of bad intros, but I haven't gotten from them. The way it works when we do our challenges is, I've said it before, it's kind of a double-edged sword for the winner. You get to win, you get the bragging rights, but you also have to make a bad intro for the loser. And I lost 2 times, so OMGEE actually owes me 2 bad intros. So whenever those are up, those will be on this video, but yes, yeah, he needs to send them to me. Next question. Hey, Valley, longtime fan from the UK. I've been heavily investing T4s into my Black Order since they are currently my favorite team right now. I've done most of the main ones, Maw, Thanos, but I'm stuck with the decision to do either Proxima's passive or Thanos passive. Which has the most value? Smashing nerds, brother. All right, so I guess the big question is, what do you want less of? Do you want more focus on your, or more or less of? More focus on your team from that Proxima passive, or do you want less armor on the other team from that Thanos passive? For me, I think that more focus adds a little more value, not only because she adds more focus to the entire team, she also removes the lowest health enemy out of stealth. So kind of a fringe benefit of that passive, but in certain battles, it can work good. But in a vacuum, I think that passive of Proxima's, that extra focus is a little more important than less armor. Obviously, down the road, you would want to do both if you're heavily investing in that Black Order team, but I think Proxima goes first, especially for that extra focus, especially for Ebony Maw, and then Thanos for that less armor. So that is the order that I would do those T4s in, brother. Hey, Valley, just started Cosmic in DD3. I have Invisible Woman, Captain Marvel, Maw at tier 14. I could take one more to tier 14. Should that be Hela or minn-erva? Now, if you're really running short on Catalyst, that's where you can make this determination. But minn-erva's tech, Hela is Mystic, so you could actually do both of them. Which one would I pick? It's kind of a toss-up. Hela is awesome for Greg, and minn-erva is awesome for her ultimate, which takes percentage-based damage off the enemies, which percentage-based damage for, uses that percentage-based damage as health for your team. She also revives, so I think minn-erva is going to give you a little more value, but Hela is very good. And if you have the Catalyst, just do both. They use different mini uniques. So yeah, if you can do both, do both. I like minn-erva though. They're both very, very good though. Hela more for Greg, minn-erva more for her kit. Hey there, Valley Flyin, coming to you from TCU. Sorry, this is a long one. All right, guys, grab your popcorn. This is gonna be a long one. Prepared myself for DD2, about 2 weeks away, trying to be conservative possible. We're gonna take minn-erva, symbiote, Spider-Man, and Hela up to 13. Won't have Phoenix, Maw, but by 4th, Carnage. Question is the 5th character. I know I should probably get a cleanser, but they all use biogear. So they do all use biogear, but remember, going from 12 to 13, you don't need those mini uniques. All you need is those superior uniques. So the things like those superior alien spores for Carnage, Symbiote, Spider-Man, you're gonna need a lot of those to get them to tier 13. So don't worry so much about the bio and tech and Mystic and Cosmic, all that stuff for just for 13. You do want to worry about a gear 14 because that's where you're going to need those. And you also want to look at characters that you're going to use outside of just this game mode as well. Emma Frost would be a very good one. I like her as a choice. She has that cleansing. She uses the mutant gear, so it won't screw you up once you're getting characters up to gear 13. Gear 14. So good choice. The only thing that might be holding you back is the gold stars and the red stars. So for her to be very, very viable in DD2, I would recommend getting some good gold stars on her, which you might not be able to do if you're not spending a lot of money on this game right now. Same thing for red stars. You got to get very lucky to get the red stars. She might struggle a little bit without that because of the high health pool, but yeah, not the worst character, especially because you're thinking of different tags, things like that. Valley Flyin, do you think X-Force will be farmable prior to the Doc Ock event? This is a big question people have been asking about. I know a lot of people want X-Force to be farmable before this legendary event comes around, but my feeling, and this is just based on a gut feeling, I think this is going to be more similar to that Black Bolt event where it wasn't as free-to-play friendly to unlock Black Bolt on that first iteration of that legendary event. I think that same kind of scenario is going to happen with Dr. Octopus when he comes to the game. I think it's not going to be as free-to-play friendly, and I don't particularly mind that in this kind of game. I do spend money on this game, but I have been free-to-play in other games with similar type of legendary characters, and I haven't minded it. I don't know, but my gut feeling, guys, is it's going to be a little more difficult for free-to-play players to unlock Doc Ock on his first iteration. I've heard the Greek rates are going to get a difficulty slider. Yes, you have heard correctly. That was announced in the roadmap blog post. They are going to get a difficulty slider. We don't know when, though. Only section I struggle with in any of the Greeks is the mini boss in the middle lanes in Gamma. The requirement is Hydra, Defenders, or Mercs. Which of these characters do you recommend building for this section with a difficulty update? Not sure what's going to happen with the difficulty update. It could be so hard that you got to put a lot of resources in the characters. But what I run right now in the Gammas without the difficulty sliders is just Defenders with Killmonger as the 5th because Punisher doesn't have that tag. So that's what I use. It works pretty good for autoing that Gamma raids, but I'm just hoping that it will also work when they up the difficulty, but we don't know when the difficulty is, so I'm not in any rush to build that team up right now, brother. Greetings from Birmingham, Alabama, brother. Love the content, especially the DD3 Essentials video. I'm gearing up characters for DD3, have enough promo credits for Symbiote Spider-Man, Phoenix, Hela, or Ebony Maw. Who would the extra red star make a difference, huge difference, and if so, who would you recommend promoting? So definitely not Ebony Maw. I don't think he makes that much of a difference going from 5 to 6, especially the way his kit is designed. Symbiote Spider-Man, Phoenix, Hela are going to be my top 3. I think just based on these characters, it's going to come down to usage. If you're using X-Men more, go for Phoenix. If you're using Symbiote Spider-Man or the symbiotes more, Symbiote Spider-Man, and Hela, she probably would be my 3rd pick. So either Phoenix or Symbiote Spider-Man. If you got Black Bolt, I probably would do him over either of those characters, but either Symbiote Spider-Man or Phoenix, depending which team you're using more. And then after that, your 3rd Hela. Hope you're staying safe. Same to you, brother. I love that they worth it videos. Yes, we just did one early this morning for Emma Frost. Now that Ironheart is becoming farmable, is she worth it? So the question is, she is good in that one power armor team, not as good outside of that team. You use power armor in war, so that is a good thing 3 times a week. If that is worth it for her or for you, yeah, she's going to be worth it because she makes that team better. How much better does she make it than Vision? You're going to have to build her up to a pretty decent level, higher than your Vision or close to where your Vision is as far as collection power for her to be worth it for you. But see, she's very specific for that team. So not as an all-around character. If you have a lot of these all-around characters that are good in multiple game modes, then I would say, yes, work on Ironheart as a luxury. But for me, I'd rather work on characters like Black Bolt, Symbiote Spider-Man, more of these well-rounded teams rather than a character that works well on one team. Next question. Hope all is well. How do you send a ticket, report a problem? So based on that settings tab, if you go in there, there's a button that says support, hit that, and that should allow you to get a ticket. Spent 20 red star orbs on a tier 4 and a tier 4 because Emma Frost was pictured in the orbs. Didn't get her. Checked availability. She is not there. Would there be a way to get my orbs back? I would send a ticket to support. Most of the time, they're not going to do anything, but once in a while, you get a good customer service person and they will hook you up. But yeah, anytime they have a red star orb opening, sometimes I forget this, but you should always check to make sure the character is there because sometimes they're not there right away. Sometimes it takes half an hour. Sometimes it takes an hour. Sometimes you need to totally shut down, force close your game and restart it for that character to show up. But usually it's a little late. So I wouldn't open red star orbs right away in the beginning unless you double check. That's just kind of a word of caution from someone that's been through these missing red star offers before, guys. What would you say is the best U6 team? I've heard people say BKT. But with the new characters, is there a better team? Personally, I use the symbiotes and minn-erva and Hela. That team will work very good. Will probably work good on that Ultimate 7 difficulty 1 and 2 as well. Just the symbiotes, those 3 characters are better than a lot of 5-man teams, guys. Those symbiotes are very, very good. So that team will work for Ultimate 6. BKT will work for Ultimate 6. I'm not sure what the best team is because my alliance hasn't went back and ran that recently, but both of those teams, very, very good. Whatever you have built up, that's what I would use in that team, in that raid. With the Greek raid difficulty selector, has anyone made a new map lane for the Greek raids yet? If so, what would be able to find those maps? So not sure. I've not seen any, and I have not seen a date on these. So I personally, I'm not super worried about these Greek raids until we see a date. We'll probably have a week or 2 weeks notice from that point. At that point, we'll probably see data mines of new maps, things like that. So for me, I'm not worrying about it yet, but yes, I have not seen a map. If anybody in the comments has seen a map though, let us know and we can post it in the Discord or anything like that. All right, with a mention of Silver Surfer, Doom, Swarm in the Squirrel Girl campaign, Doom is confirmed, Swarm is rumored. Could you please ask Drew if he's heard anything about Silver Surfer joining the game? Thank you for my videos from my friend. Stay safe. All right, Drew, I have not spoken for you in a while. I don't know if you have any new rumors, but Silver Surfer, have you heard anything about this character, brother?
Valley, what is up, mate? Drew, the rumor guy here with no new rumors this week. Just want to stop by and hang out, but no. Not heard any rumors about Silver Surfer recently.
Wait, Drew, you said you hadn't heard anything about Silver Surfer recently. Does that mean you've heard things about him previously? I mean, even when you say you got nothing, I don't even know if you're trying to be sly and throw hints here or anything, but all right, next question. We'll see what happens, brother. Been binge watching your content lately, and with Drew's Sinister 6 rumor about a character whose limbs cannot be cut, What about Lizard or Sandman? Both have regenerative qualities, which could lead towards a healer tag, something Sinister Six could use, and they've already set the stage for Dr. Connors with that Squirrel Girl event at Empire State University. Could be a natural progression. I agree. It could be a natural progression, but Drew, any rumors about Lizard, Sandman, Sinister Six? What is going on with these guys?
Mate, you both could be right. It could be a natural progression, but limbs not being cut off, not Sandman, not Lizard. Wasn't even talking about the Sinister Six, mate. But like I said, nothing new this week, but don't worry. I'll be back either just to hang out and say what's up or with some fresh new rumors. But right now, I'm flat out, mate. So cheers. And I'll see you next time.
Well, Drew, my friend, it is always a pleasure to hang out with you. Rumors, no rumors. I look forward to it again next time, and I look forward to next time hanging out with all of you guys as well. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, subscribe, smash that like button, all that normal stuff, guys. Leave a comment and everything. Make sure you enter that contest for Emma Frost Worldwide Nutrition. Make sure you check out the link for BlueStacks. They both support the channel, and it's super good stuff as well. Give me a Hulk fist bump before you leave, and make sure you check me out on social media. Hulk fist bump, Valley Flyin, out!